Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit CD at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
No run back here on the opening kickoff as we'll start at the 25. So here's the Charger offense making their way out. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They're coming out with a jumbo package to start the drive. Now a guy who went to prep school right here in Philly, DeAndre Swift. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. And a quick throw here. That's complete. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Now left side on the, and oh, right away, he lost the football.
No coach or team's ever happy when someone has a turnover, but if there's ever a good time to do it,
preseason.
Yeah, right now. You know that to come regular season, he's going to be ready to go, and maybe he'll remember, yeah, I don't want to do this when it comes time for the games to count.
Philly's offense getting ready, and Jalen Hurts ready to lead them. The second-round pick who started his career at Alabama, then finished with an electric senior season at Oklahoma.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for a Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
They'll get it to the 23-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And a short gain here down to the 22. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And that play stopped by Drake Jackson.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to 3rd down. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. But he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. Calling a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs. Had a chance to maybe limit them to 3 if they could have gotten that stop there, but a new set of downs.
And with a new set of downs, you got to take the mentality of the whole thing. Right now, everyone's looking at the offense and saying they've got the advantage. The best defenses just say, okay, new set of downs gives us another chance to make a play ourselves and maybe change things up.
And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Check back 11, check back 11. Here we go, let's bring it. Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
Harris is into the end zone for an Eagle touchdown. Just power football there, down near the goal line. Give it to him. He's able to push his way across.
Yeah, they went heavy there. Sometimes you have those big offensive linemen come in, have to report like they're eligible. But all they're doing is getting a good stance, blocking, and getting their runner across the goal line.
Santos with the extra point. And that makes the score 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Well, let's shine the spotlight on the former Georgia Bulldog, DeAndre Swift, who's set to begin this next drive. He's got to clear his mind a little bit right now. 1 carry, and that carry was a lost fumble.
Clear his mind, clear his hands, and just let this one go. Sometimes it happens. You drop the ball, get a full game ahead of him, hand it to him again, see if they can start to produce.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Swift going to try up the middle. And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
First time that they called his number tonight, and it gets him a 1st down. They will run straight ahead with Swift. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
2nd and 3. Locates Mooney on the out route. And he gets it down a yard or 2 shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Looking to throw. There's Mooney with another catch. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
On 1st and 10, it's Swift. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Right back to Swift again on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Swift. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
They'll run with Swift. Now he fights his way in for a Charger touchdown. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Chargers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Extra point splits the uprights, and we are tied at 7. That one in the books as a 12-play drive, and it ends with the Chargers getting into the end zone. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. They go play action with Hurts. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
Well, they certainly made a point of getting him involved in the passing game here in the first half. They must have seen something in the scouting that said, hey, we can capitalize on him getting the ball possibly in the open field. And I think in the second half, that may loosen up the defense a little bit to get the running game going back inside.
Now here's a throw that's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. On 3rd down. It's Baker. He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, maybe perhaps a bit more of a focus on the run game for this drive after tossing an interception on the previous one?
I think that's a good way to look at it and a good way to think about it, but maybe they get to it in a little bit different way, because after you throw an interception, you want to make sure you keep your quarterback's confidence high. So maybe you give him a couple easy throws that he can complete and then get to the running game and try and get things settled down.
Yeah, and still in the first half here, a long way to go.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris.
And he'll get a couple up to the 29.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
On 3rd down, here's Harris.
And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's able to get this up to the 37-yard line.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. 2 minutes remaining in the first half. 10-7, our score. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1? So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Throwing is Hurts. Over the middle, complete to Judy. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. They're going on 4th down with Hurts. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have an Eagles first down as that'll be a gain of 15 on 4th. They'll send Brown in motion right. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Leighton Vander Esch. And the Chargers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Second straight drive now here, Charles, that have ended with an interception.
And I just wonder, because I don't think it's going to rattle him necessarily, but I also wonder if it's going to unnerve him a little bit. Does it lead to another one? Or does he find a way to pull it together and become sharp again?
The Chargers going to take over now late in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And that'll be good for 8 yards to the 45. Now the Chargers will use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 2nd and 2. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Charger first down. They're going to look to throw. This will be caught downfield by Moore. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A great play there in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chargers would extend their lead here just before halftime. CD for them, this has just been an offensive explosion here in the second quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the first quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the second. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. So barring a touchback, this likely the final act of the half as the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And they'll have time for one play. There's 2 seconds on the clock. They'll throw now on the final play. Looking here for Smith downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando. That's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much.
Looks like somebody's ready to begin the regular season, skipping over halftime here in the final game of the preseason. Third quarter. Here we go. Our starters likely to be out there for the third quarter as we get back underway in this second half. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. All in all, pretty manageable deficit, Charles, here as they start this third quarter offensively when you consider the fact that in the first 2 quarters, they had 2 costly turnovers.
I think you laid it out there perfectly, partner. Very tough to hold a lead going into the break if you continue to hand it over on multiple drives.
Yeah, and obviously, Charles, it would be very tough to climb back into the game if those turnovers continue.
I would say borderline impossible. You keep turning it over, I don't know how you make up a deficit.
Play action. Here's Hurts. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete.
The goal is certainly to try and make a big play happen and climb back into this game, but you have to be careful. If you overdo it, you could turn it over and hurt your team.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3 and leaves him with 4th and 1. As we surmise, Charles, most of the starting units still out there for this third quarter. First time this preseason that they played into the second half.
And that's by design. Most of the time by this point of the preseason, you want them to go into the half, cool down, and then come back out and warm up to start the third quarter like you would a regular season game. That's exactly what they wanted to get done.
And this is going to be an Eagles first down as he's got this up to about the 34-yard line.
So did you suspect the same thing that I did? They were lining up just to draw them off sides here?
100%.
Well, how about that? They were going for it the entire time. Never a question in his mind about going ahead and getting it, despite where they were on the field.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it in my voice when they snapped the ball. I was like, oh, I almost wasn't ready to call the play. I just kept waiting for the timeout offensively. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. They'll send Brown in motion right. On 2nd and 11 now. Hurts eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Hurts dangerous when he runs that football. He's got a first.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. On the give, this is Harris, and he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that field like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll send Brown in motion right. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Airing it out deep for Smith. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Devontae Smith, 50 yards. And the Eagles have got it back to within a score. Well, you know he can be explosive, and he's ultra explosive there on the fly route.
And you know how many times we've talked to coaches and we've had quoted back to us, well, you know something? When you execute really well, it doesn't matter if they know it's coming or not. But sometimes athleticism beats you as well. He just took off and went. And that's almost like one of your Turkey Bowl games, isn't it? Just go long,
Backyard.
man. I'll hit you. And it worked really well for them.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. Touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Now we'll look at the Chargers offense. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. But Charles, they still have the lead despite their defense giving up a touchdown on the previous possession. And even though they have that lead, it feels like a back-and-forth ball game where to try to get momentum back, maybe they need at least 3 here on this drive.
I think you're right about that, Brandon, because your game plan doesn't change. But I do believe your urgency does because of the last score that went against your team. So what you want to do now is have your own drive and try and make sure that that momentum stays in your camp.
45 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries. First down, and they go with Swift again. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. It's caught inside the 25. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. They'll drop to throw. Out to the left. That's where the tight end Moreau is. Touchdown, Chargers. Foster Moreau from 19 yards away. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So they get their tight end away from the line to the outside, and he works his way in for 6.
Tight ends are not just blockers anymore. I don't know how many more times we need examples, but here's a great one. Gets to the outside, they give him the ball pretty quickly, and they trust him to get those extra yards, and boy, did he come through, bowling his way into the end zone after the nice catch.
Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And this will be returned from deep in the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further.
Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hole.
And you don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. They'll try and run this one right up the gut.
And he is going to have an Eagles first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts.
On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 35. A big play there for Philly. 43 yards.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30.
Here's Hurts to throw. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown.
And they eventually get to him at the 17 after a pickup of 17 into the red zone. First down. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports.
Check back 11.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game.
And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Santos with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The offense for Los Angeles returns to the field. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Baker, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. He finds his man, complete. It's May. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
40 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell him to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Hey, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
They'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. The middle they go. Baker. And he's in for a Charger touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Chargers are able to build on to their 4th quarter lead. And that's certainly an important touchdown there and makes this a 2-score game.
But as we've seen, no lead is safe in this one with the way these two offenses have lit up the scoreboard. I would imagine that on their sidelines, they're both yelling at their defenses, hey, you want to get involved here? One big play from you, that could win the game for us.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Taken in at the 3.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here.
Now that should give him a spark. He's across the 40 to the 43.
There's no downplaying that we all knew that this was a critical possession, and to get a return like that to start things off, that's the spark that they needed. That's the spark they were looking for.
The Eagles coming out as they get ready.
And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
Throwing on first down. McLaughlin looking here for Smith downfield. And got his man complete.
And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line. Well, certainly those are the types of... Mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
Back to throw. McLaughlin. And he whips that one incomplete there. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
And he'll take this one down inside the 5 to the 3. This defense not budging. Back-to-back carries of just 2 yards. Santos' kick is up and through, and this is back down to a 7-point game. So kind of disappointing there. I mean, yes, they get the 3, but with starting field position like that, 3's not what you're banking on.
No, and you just have to wonder if you can afford to let chances like that continue to pass you by. You've got to find ways to get the ball to the end zone and put 6s on the scoreboard.
After the made field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time. And that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Baker. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. Now a handoff up the middle. Baker. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. On is the Chargers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. That'll be a 41-yard punt, just 1 yard on the return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now the Eagles down on the scoreboard. And time, a huge factor. You can't say the preseason isn't interesting. This has been great as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And a short pickup to about the 27. It'll be 2nd down. Charles, they're trying to protect this lead late. Those are the types of mistakes they could afford to go without.
About the last thing you want to give them is help in completing a comeback, which is exactly what that penalty does.
Now keep in mind, no overtime in the preseason. So without getting ahead of ourselves, we'll likely see a 2-point try should they get this in the end zone. They hand this off to Harris. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. He's back to throw. Complete. Smith has it. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. First down now, but that clock rolling. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. They'll look to throw. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. And what a throw that was, Charles. You think about the situation, close game, fourth quarter, rookie quarterback. He doesn't seem phased one bit.
So much for bright lights, big city, and will he wilt? Not at all. The stage not too big, the moment not too big at all. They needed points on that series, and not only did he produce a touchdown drive, but how about finishing it off with a big play that only adds to the momentum that they've already established.
So a big play for the Eagles now as they'll go for two. They'll try and run it in. And he is in for the two. I still can't believe they went for it, but they've got themselves a lead here late in the ball game. Well, they had guts to go for that, and they got it. Now, if you're the defense, you feel some major pressure, don't you?
Well, they put it on you, haven't they? They've told you that you are the unit they believe in. We'll find out now if they can make it hold up. But, boy, just going for it in that spot.
I know, right?
Amazing.
After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll put it out to the 25. Now the tides have turned. Now all eyes shift to the Chargers, trailing by one after the two-point convert. .43 seconds to go. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. Back to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. It's May. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Up the middle they go. It's Baker, and he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. touchdown. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
Well, this one, partner, was fun down to the very end. They got the points late, right before the whistle. Then the ensuing kickoff. They were hoping for magic on the other side, but couldn't get that spark.
Fun if you won, and fun for us because we got to watch it and call it. That magic that you were talking about didn't occur at the end, but what a game all the way through.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Philadelphia, good night, everybody.